wasted days talking about statutes and crime refusing to address or discuss or even acknowledge the underlying issue of structural racism that led to George Floyd's murder. Police accountability and reforms put forth by the People of Color and Indigenous Caucus didn't receive a single hearing in the Senate, not one single hearing. Instead, we got a closed-door deal in the middle of the night with no public input. And I listened, and I want to be clear, I listened to Senator Gazelka said that he gave Senator Champion a ring a couple times and just wanted to make sure he could loop him in. Well, that's not what we do here in the Senate. It's not our process. That doesn't invite people in. So though we're here, though we appreciate the work that the House has done and to work with the Senate, we still believe that with a better process, there were critical provisions that could have been in. We do believe that we could have had a much better bill, a bill that would have been much more informed by the community that we all represent. We think that there is much work to be done on this issue. We think that it shouldn't have taken so long, shouldn't be 141 at the second special session to finally get here. We think that when we come back, and whoever is in control of this body, I would hope that they would take the time, they would emphasize, they would recognize, they wouldn't avoid the hard conversation that we need to have. And that not only goes for criminal justice and law enforcement, but that also goes for education, members. We talked about that today. That also goes for health care. That also goes for transportation. This body has not done its work. And here we are again in the middle of July. I told one of my friends today, I think it was Senator Swedinski, I've never been in session in July, not that I can remember, not this time. And here we are again, 145, in the cover of darkness, with the Senate minority not being informed, not being there every step of the way, having to hear it second and third hand. Maybe we get a little call from the leaders here. Maybe Senator Gazelka will find a little time in his day to pick up the phone and call one of our members to let us know what might happen. That's not the way we should do it. So I do want to respect the work that was done. I do want to be able to say that this is a first step, but it's that first small step. Mr. President, you know, it's those, sometimes we got those big steps. This is a little step. So I'm going to support it. I'm going to encourage my colleagues to do so, but we have a lot of work to be done if we're going to actually solve this issue, if we're actually going to deal with structural changes, if we're going to wake up, if we're going to get out of denial, if we're going to stop being last in every single indicator, every quality of life indicator for people of color, we're going to have to do much better. So, Mr. President, with that, I will ask members to vote for it reluctantly, but I would hope that we would do a much better job moving forward. I would hope that we would listen, and I would hope that we would not think that this is simply just for people of color. I would hope that we would think that this is helpful for all Minnesotans. Thank you, Mr. President.
Final discussion on the bill. Senator Torres-Ray.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. I would like to let the public know that we started this process with a proposal that was not a bold proposal. And we did that because we didn't think that we could pass that in a divided legislature. We know that this bill is actually not the bill that communities of color want. We have been told that from the very beginning. The communities that are impacted by police brutality want more. They want transformational policy, and this bill is just not that. Today, I would like to thank the House majority for bringing us here. I think it became very clear in this short hearing here in the Senate floor from the responses of the chair of the Judiciary Committee that said time and time again to the questions that Senator Disick asked tonight. He said that came from the House. Senator Limmer responded time and time again. That language came from the House. That was actually done in the House. All of this work, members, was done in the House. He is actually correct. I want to thank the Posse Caucus for the tremendous engagement, for the hundreds of hours that they spent in the community, individually and collectively. The House actually held a lot of hearings, and many people came to testify. Law enforcement officers, county commissioners, activists, experts, parents. People actually came to testify and provided an opinion. That's what we do. That's what legislators are supposed to do. That did not happen in the Minnesota Senate. We never had a hearing. We never were invited to participate in any conversations with the community. We should not do that again, members. This process is about community engagement. We do policy with people. So today, I want to tell members that this is a process that has happened time and time again in the Senate, and we need to demand better. The House did this work, and I am grateful to them. But this bill is really not a good result. And my commitment to all of you is that I will continue this work, and I will not be voting for this bill tonight, because I believe that this bill is very incomplete. I cannot go back to my community, to the activists that have worked with me, to the families, to the relatives, to the mothers of all the Black men that have died in the hands of the police, and tell them that this bill actually responds today to their calls for justice. I don't believe it is. I will be voting no. And I am going to tell Gianna Floyd, George Floyd's daughter, that my caucus, the Minority Caucus, is making a commitment to you and your family, and to all the children and the parents that are there, that have lost their fathers, that we will work for justice. And this is just the beginning for us. We promise you that we're not done, and we want to let you know that this is very insufficient. And some members may vote for this because it's all we could do right now. But this is not good enough. So I will be voting no, and I encourage some members to do the same. Thank you, members.
Final discussion on the bill. Senator Limmer.
Thank you, Mr. President. I really wasn't planning on making much of a speech on closing, but I just wanted to make sure people realized, and for the record, we did have a hearing on this bill. It started on the very first proposal. I think it lasted at 3.5 to 4 hours. We invited 22 members from various communities, including minority populations. Activists spoke. City officials, I believe, spoke. Representatives of larger city groups spoke. Law enforcement spoke. And a number of law enforcement. We even had family members who had lost loved ones at the hands of a police shooting. Unlike the description that the governor made of that hearing, we did not interrupt anyone. We gave everyone equal amount of time. I believe there were 22 people that gave testimony to that committee, and then we made our vote after that. I thought it was very respectful. We gave very clear instruction to our members not to interrupt. If they had questions, wait till all of the discussion was over. And so some of the comments I heard tonight were simply not true. We did have public hearing. And I suppose there's always a debate of whether or not you can have more public discussion. But nevertheless, in light of special sessions that had limited times, I just wanted to make sure that on the record that we tried to accommodate the public as best we could. So, Mr. Chairman, this is a compromise bill. And in compromise, those that are involved in the debate don't always get everything they want. And nevertheless, it does reveal that there are issues that need to be resolved in this subject area. And as others have said, this is an important first step. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I'll end my comments, and I hope everyone can understand and back the compromise that we have.
Final discussion on the bill. Senator Gazelka.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, I know it's late. I just have a few comments. This particular bill in another body passed 102 to 29. So you had a huge number of Republicans and Democrats in that other body voting for this, and I would expect the same here. This is the very essence of what we do here, and that is take many ideas and work together, Republicans and Democrats, House and Senate, to actually pass something that makes a difference. And I do think this bill would make a difference. But as we began this process, there were a number of voices and things that we, frankly, were going to weed out. When you have the Minneapolis City Council and Congressman Omar and other Democrats say we need to defund the police or dismantle the police, we said no, that's not something we're going to do. But there were other people across the aisle from us that was not their intention. They wanted to work on reforms that would make a difference. And so we rolled up our sleeves and worked together with people that we could find some common ideas in that we thought would matter and would make a difference. Many of us listened to many voices. I'd listened to the voices of a number of moms who lost loved ones in police situations. And I talked to many community members in different communities within Minneapolis and St. Paul. And I talked to the police and the different organizations of the police. And I talked to people of the Posse group, both in House and Senate. But that was happening throughout this whole body, and that's how good bills get done. And let me just say that as we went through this, Senator Limmer's bill, 10 of the provisions that started in the Senate here are in this bill. Is the language slightly different? Yes, that's the nature of the House and Senate working together to get a compromise bill. So 10 of those, 10 of the 11, and then 5 others. So 15 provisions, members, are in this bill. 15. In a special session, 15 provisions is amazing. Do we think it's the end of it? No. There was a number of provisions that we just said, these need to be vetted in a hearing, in a regular session where you can have a lot more voices. That was something we all wanted, but we sensed the urgency of doing something. And so we did ban chokeholds, except if you're trying to protect the life of that individual or he was protecting somebody else. We did focus on the sanctity of life, recognizing that as police approach situations, we want the least amount of force possible, but sometimes they need a lot of force. We did focus on mental health and autism and how do we address some of those situations so that we don't have moms losing loved ones in those situations. We did have more input from citizens, adding 2 more people to the post board and then forming a citizen advisory committee. But we did not want the citizens to have authority over the post board. Like all boards, this board need to be run by the professionals within it. So in this case, it's police, and others it's attorneys, and others it's accountants. But we thought it was particularly important to have citizens engaged in speaking to these organizations to make sure that they were the best they could be. We did reform arbitration, which creates the ability to pluck out bad apples when they're not doing their job. That was a big step. And we did offer incentives for police to live in the communities they're from. We didn't want to force them to do that. There are reasons sometimes that police don't want to live in their particular community. I knew one person that worked in one city and lived in St. Paul, but they lived in a different city. So it wasn't about being in St. Paul. For them, it was find a less expensive place to live. And so we looked at so many issues and had dialogue back and forth. And frankly, members, that was good government. So it's late, but members, I'm proud of this bill. I'm proud of the work that many people did on this. I'm proud of the work that Limmer did, Senator Limmer, to carry this over the finish line. And members, I would recommend a strong green vote on this.
Members, we're on final passage of House File 1. Seeing no further discussion, the Secretary will take the roll. Members in the retiring room, room 303, and the President's office, please come to the chamber to vote. Members in room 323, 237, and 206, please come to the chamber to vote. I'll now call on Senator Kent to report the votes of the members voting under Rule 40.7. Senator Kent.
Thank you, Mr. President. I report aye for Senator Bach.
Bach votes aye. Senator Kent.
I report aye for Senator Carlson.
Carlson votes aye. Senator Kent.
I report aye for Senator Champion.
Champion votes aye. Senator Kent.
I report aye for Senator Clausen.
Clausen votes aye. Senator Kent.
I report no for Senator Eaton.
Eaton votes no. Senator Kent.
I report aye for Senator Franzen.
Franzen votes aye. Senator Kent.
I report aye for Senator Hoffman.
Hoffman votes aye. Senator Kent.
I report aye for Senator Isaacson.
Isaacson votes aye. Senator Kent.
I report aye for Senator Klein.
Klein votes aye. Senator Kent.
I report aye for Senator Lane.
Lane votes aye. Senator Kent.
I report aye for Senator Latz.
Latz votes aye. Senator Kent.
I report no for Senator Marty.
Marty votes no. Senator Kent.
I report aye for Senator Newton.
Newton votes aye. Senator Kent.
I report aye for Senator Pappas.
Pappas votes aye. Senator Kent.
I report aye for Senator Rest.
Rest votes aye. Senator Kent.
I report aye for Senator Sparks.
Sparks votes aye. Senator Kent.
I report aye for Senator Tomasoni.
Tomasoni votes aye. Senator Kent.
I report aye for Senator Wickland.
Wickland votes aye. I will now call on Senator Jasinski to report the votes of the members voting under Rule 40.7. Senator Jasinski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Hall votes aye.
Hall votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Senjum votes aye.
Senjum votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Johnson votes no.
Johnson votes no. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Weber votes yes.
Weber votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Housley votes aye.
Housley votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Osmic votes aye.
Osmic votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Goggin votes aye.
Goggin votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Rosen votes aye.
Rosen votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Westrom votes aye.
Westrom votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Dames votes aye.
Dames votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Nelson votes aye.
Nelson votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Anderson B votes aye.
Anderson B votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Ingebrigtsen votes aye.
Ingebrigtsen votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Eichhorn votes aye.
Eichhorn votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Jensen votes aye.
Jensen votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
That is all the votes I have currently, Mr. President.
Senator Jasinski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Newman votes aye.
Newman votes aye. All members having voted who have the desire to vote, the Secretary will close the roll. There being 60 ayes and 7 nays, the bill is passed and its title agreed to. Remaining under motions and resolutions, we have a couple authors' motions to be read by the Secretary.
Senator Hayden moves that his name be stricken as co-author of Senate File Number 37. Senator Champion moves that his name be stricken as co-author to Senate File Number 37. Senator Limmer moves that the name of Senator Ralph be added as co-author to Senate File Number 37.
The author's motions read by the secretary are correct. We'll take those author's motions read by the secretary as one motion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion prevails. Remaining under motions and resolutions, the secretary will read Senate Resolution number 8. Before the secretary reads Senate Resolution number 8, we'll revert to the third order of business under motions and resolutions, messages from the House. The secretary will read the message.
Mr. President, I have the honor to announce the passage by the House of the following Senate file herewith return Senate file number 4, Bill for an Act relating to motor vehicles. Mr. President, I have the honor to inform you that the House of Representatives of the state of Minnesota is about to adjourn the 2020 second special session sine die. Patrick D. Murphy, Chief Clerk, House of Representatives.
There's no action required on those messages. Now the secretary will read Senate Resolution number 8.
Senators Gazelka and Kent introduce Senate Resolution number 8, a Senate resolution relating to adjournment of the special session.
To the resolution, Senator Gazelka.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate do something.
Senator Gazelka, you move that the Senate adopt Senate Resolution number 8.
It's after 2.
To that motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion prevails. Senator Gazelka.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, we're about to adjourn sine die. I think you're aware that the House did not pass the bonding bill or tax relief and has gone sine die, so our work is done. Thank you for your work on the police accountability bill. I think that was very important. And so, Mr. President, I move that the Senate do now adjourn sine die.
Senator Gazelka moves that the Senate adjourn sine die. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Motion prevails. The Senate is adjourned.